Hi friends. If you click to check out the newest addition to the NATASHA DENONA family, the Love Eyeshadow Palette and the Love Glow Cheek Palette, then please keep on watching. Hi, my name is Lydia. If it's your first time here, thank you so much for clicking on my video. Kinky Sweat stands for my kinky hair and sweat life. I'm a fitness professional who loves things all movement and beauty. If you want to check out what I do in between the makeups, you can head over to my Instagram. What you doing there? I see you. Finally, I'm able to dive into this palette. I am so sorry for the delay. I'm only able to film 2 days out of the week, and of course, when waiting for the palettes to arrive, it definitely puts a delay on my film schedule. But we are here. We're gonna do the comparisons, get into the product details, and do 5 looks. And with that said, all timestamps will be down below, so you can skip over to whatever portion of the video you wish to see. It will be long, but again, grab a snack, have your timestamps, and we'll all be fine. Okay. I actually have a little bit of the cheek palette on my face today, so we'll get started with the Love Glow Cheek Palette. This is all a part of a bigger collection. I believe this is NATASHA DENONA's Love Collection. In addition to the cheek and eyeshadow palette, she has also released a new formula, I think for her. This is the Lip-oh-phoria Gloss and Balm. So I still have them in their boxes. I rushed home yesterday at like 9:30 p.m., ripped through the box, swatched everything, try to get a feel of the products first before I came on here so I have a better presentation of things. I have the Tan, Bronze, and Glow as well as the Bloom palette on standby to do comparisons with that. The Love Glow palette is Natasha's third mini face palette. She has her 6-pan huge face palettes in like a sculpting palette and a blush and highlighter palette. I don't have any of those, so I'm sorry if you're expecting comparisons with those palettes, but I'm sure our squad, Michelle Wong, Mel Thompson, will be more than happy to do comparison swatches with those other palettes. As you see here, it's like unicorny. It has this snow globe effect now here on the lid, and you see that it's pink with its hot pink metallic lettering on the lid. And here you go inside. This palette retails for $55, so it is on par with her previous 2 palettes. Some product details quickly. You have a suggested shelf life of 18 months from opening, and this product is made in Italy. Each pan has a different weight since it's a different formula. For instance, the cream base is weighing in at 2.8 grams, 0.09 ounces. The Super Glow, one of the powders, 3.5 grams, 0.12 ounces. The Diamond Powder, 2.5 grams, 0.08 ounces. And the Glow Impact Powder, 3.2 grams or 0.11 ounces. So depending on the formula will determine the weight if that is important to you. And as you see, you have the cream formula here and a plastic lid so we could keep those textures from mixing with each other. Now, upon looking at the cream color right away, the one found in Bloom is significantly deeper than the one found here in the Love Glow. So here are both palettes together. You can see that the Bloom has a much deeper cheek cream shade, and overall, I feel that these textures, as I tried them last night, have a lot more punch in terms of the glitter effect. So we'll get into that now. First up is the Cream Glow Base, and this is a rosy red with a metallic finish. Next up, we have Super Glow, is a peachy pink with gold reflex and a duochrome finish. I believe she considers this a cream. It's like a cream powder that you have to work in really well, so we'll experiment more with that when we get into the demo. Next up is her Diamond Powder, is a hot pink with rose gold reflex and a duochrome finish. This is what I believe exists in her holiday palette that people were not crazy about. It's definitely like a cheek topper shade and definitely gives me Astral Orchid. Is it Astral Orchid feels from Ritualistic Rose from Mama Pat? Except the one from Ritualistic Rose has a stronger gold shift. This stays predominantly pink, but it's so beautifully reflective. And lastly, we have the Glow Impact Powder. And this is a cool champagne with a metallic finish. Metallic, excuse me. So here are all the swatches from the Love Glow palette. You see that it's mainly pink. And if you wanted to quickly see these shades from Bloom, so the primary difference here is that in Bloom you have a cream highlighter, which I would put right next to the one found in Love Glow. So this takes more of a highlighter role. And the cheek color is just deeper in shade. Yeah, so that's going to, I feel, cover a wider spectrum of skin tones. If you're on the deeper end of it, you'll probably get better luck using this palette. But I believe perhaps if you insist on getting Love Glow still, you can use that cream color as maybe a highlight shade on the cheeks, more like a cheek highlight type of a deal. This is Glow Extreme, whereas the one in Love Glow is called Glow Impact. I don't really know what the difference is, but you know, I'm just giving you the words as I see them. This is what that shade looks like, and it looks to be a little more pinky than the one found in Love Glow. And the Duo Glow, perhaps we'll swatch that next to this one here. Definitely smoother in texture. I think this is more of a powder versus this being a cream powder. And I just cut down the exposure a bit so you can see these shades a little better. And these are the comparisons. So you see here the cheek color from Bloom versus the one from Love Glow, the cream highlighter from Bloom versus from Love Glow, and then you have these two shades. The one from Love Glow just looks more pink, whereas this one here from Bloom looks more peachy. And the diamond anything does not exist in Bloom at all. So telling if you're not crazy about any type of glittery, and I shouldn't say glittery because NATASHA actually doesn't use glitter in her formula. She uses crushed crystals and pearls to create that glitter-like effect. So if you're not crazy about that, then I would stay away from it, because when you see this go on the face, you're gonna see how like sparkly it is. And as I said before, I have a little bit of the cream blush on, but what we're gonna do is come in a little closer. That's enough. I'll apply a little more. Now, I don't have all my brushes with me, but I found that I was most successful with a finger application. And with that said, let's try the Glow Cream Base. I don't know if she has a how-to video out at the moment, because sometimes it's just nice to see how she does it, since she was the one involved in creating this product. You know what I mean? She doesn't have a video out yet. It's fine. So let's first apply the cream color on the cheeks. Now, this is definitely lighter than the one found in Bloom, so it's more of a flush effect as you see here. So really nice to apply. I actually applied this morning over powder, so I feel it's multifunctional in that way. If you forget to apply this on your foundation before you set, you can successfully apply this texture on top of powder, and it won't look like it sits on the skin. In fact, it will melt quite nicely into the powder and into the skin. Now for this Super Glow, I'm not entirely sure how we're supposed to apply this. Again, I wish she had something instructional in nature. I tried this with the brush and it looked a little textured on my skin. So what I'll do now is try with my finger, hold on. And I'm just going to pat and use the warmth from my finger to kind of melt that into the skin. And I think because of the color, it will be more suitable for a cheek type of highlight, if you will. So that looks okay. I'm not too crazy about the texture because I really don't know where to place it. So for me and my medium skin tone, medium tan, I guess it's either for me a cheek highlighter or a actual highlighter, but for me, I think it's a little too pink for that. Now for the diamond powder is like crazy bright. And I would use either a sponge or my finger because it's harder pressed, and you have to go easy on this because it's definitely gonna give you that shine and sparkle, which I rather love. I actually like that holiday duo. A lot of people didn't, but I feel if you want that powwow reflectivity, then I think you will like the diamond powder. I find it's a lot easier to apply than the Super Glow, because since it's just a lighter texture and it definitely is a topper, I feel you will be successful in just pressing this lightly on the very tops of your cheekbones, or here like this nugget of space that just the bing spot, you know what I mean? The Glow Impact powder I really like. It has like a pinky texture to it, and I'm gonna apply with the brush. This is my Sonergy Bam Pro. I'm gonna take that here and just apply a little more on the very tops of my cheekbones. And I rather love this color. I think it has a pinky flip to it, but still looks highlighty in nature. and is pretty nice on the skin. It very much reminds me of what exists not only in her Bloom palette, but in her Tan, Bronze, and Glow. And if you want to quickly see what this looks like, this definitely has more of a gold hue to it, gold champagne. So ultimately, if you have Bloom, I would stick with Bloom, because this, I feel, just serves a different role altogether. It's more sparkly, it's more pink, it has a little more texture than her previous palettes. And if you're not into that, I don't think you're gonna like it. But if you are into the diamond reflect powders, if you're into a little extra shine and sparkle on the face, then I think you would rather enjoy Glow. And you might have to experiment with different tools, with your fingers, with your sponge, with different brushes, to find the right finish for your skin type and how you want the overall effect to appear in the end. I have to play with this more myself, because again, after she might release a video in terms of how she applies the powders and what brushes she uses, I'll just update you guys in the next chat, or maybe in a get ready with me of some sort. How does that sound? Up next, we have the long-awaited Love Eyeshadow Palette. Now here it is up close. This is said to be limited edition. This is her newer, smaller size that premiered in her Sunrise palette last year, $65. It is sold alongside the Love Glow Cheek palette, Beautylish, Sephora, NATASHA's site. I believe these items will be in store sometime the first week of February, which is like next week. So crazy. Some quick details on the palette. Suggested shelf life from opening is 24 months, and this one is also made in Italy. We're looking at alcohol-free, mineral oil-free, paraben-free, not tested on animals. The total net weight is 19.25 grams, but per pan will be around 1.28. I believe, 0.67 ounces or 0.04 ounces for each pan. Now it is a pro palette. These pinholes behind you will pop out the magnetic pan, as it is all a magnetic frame. It's the same thing with her older palette, except this is a foam frame, so you need maybe like a thin spatula to kind of nudge out the pans, but you can switch these around if you like. I wanted to quickly do the swatches before we get into the comparison swatches, if that's okay with you. First is a peachy beige with a creamy matte finish. Lifetime is warm gold with a shimmer finish. Heartbeat is a deep maroon with a cream matte finish. Transparent is a bronze champagne with a metallic finish. Trust, a deep plum with a creamy matte finish. Heart, rich red with a creamy matte finish. Giving is a coral with a dual chrome finish, which for me is the equivalent to Cosmic found in Pat McGrath's Dark Galaxy. Pure Love is a warm plum with blue reflex and a dual chrome finish. Commitment is a burgundy brown with a creamy matte finish. Blind is a silver metallic finish. Soul is a dusty rose with a creamy matte finish. Passion, a deep burgundy with a shimmer finish. Intense, a peachy pink with a matte finish. Valentine, a rose pink with a matte finish. And lastly, we have Dream with Amethyst is a cream finish. One more time, Amethyst with a metallic finish, but I think this is actually her cream to powder formula, if I'm not mistaken. So here are all the swatches. If you wanted to quickly point out this one, these two here, actually these three, not as consistent as her previous mattes. And so I'm gonna wipe this arm and do the comparisons, okay? Let's go in with Heartbeat again. Wanna make sure I got enough there. So let's swatch that. So it definitely is a lot more patchy in nature, not consistent with what we usually see from Natasha. If we wanted to quickly go into Lila, the shade that I find that closely relates to Heartbeat might be this one here. And you can see right off the bat how smoother it is and just how more pigmented it is without doing much work at all. And if you wanted to swatch this shade next to it, it's the same thing. Going into Sunrise, you could go into Clove, and I feel Clove has better glide as well. But you see that could be a little more patchy as well, but Heartbeat doesn't hold a candle in terms of the texture and the color richness. I actually did like Soul. I like Soul, so let's quickly swatch that. I think this was one of the better mattes from Love. There's really not a shade from Lila or Sunrise that I feel matches up with that. So we could go in, actually wanted to go in with Pure Love. because immediately I thought about Aster from Sunrise, which I will swatch next to this in a minute. Aster serves more of a topper purpose, but you see that Pure Love, I feel, has like that stronger warm pink base, but the reflectivity is very similar. So this will serve you more as a topper moment, but this I feel will serve you more as an actual lid standout shade. And again, Giving is like the topper shade from the bunch. Definitely reminds me of Cosmic from Dark Galaxy. If you wanted to see a quick comparison here, when I swatched them side by side, I believe Cosmic has more of a neon pink feel versus the one here Found in Love is more of an actual pink. I know I'm splitting hairs, but I'm just telling you my experience, okay? Intense, I actually liked. I thought this was pretty good. And I immediately thought of the Coral Matte found in her Coral palette. So I thought to bring along as well. This is called Lydia, but Lydia is more of a, I believe, peachy type of moment versus the one Found in Love is more of a warm pink. I actually think Lifetime is a great shade. It has a nice duochrome feel in here. I think it quite beautiful. That will be a lovely lid shade as a standout moment for sure. It definitely looks better in person. You can see the duochrome better, I feel. I kind of thought of this shade from Leela when I saw that one. But you see that the one from Leela has a little bit of more of a smoother texture. And this is why Leela is my favorite palette out of all the NATASHA DENONA palettes, as you know from my top 5 NATASHA DENONA palettes. The mattes are gorgeous, and you have more of her metallic formula, which I think what makes NATASHA stand out from a lot of brands in terms of the smooth texture, the consistent glide. When you maintain that color richness with whatever brush finger application you use, you're gonna get what you see in pan on your lids. I think it's just a little more cohesive, but like all palettes, you can definitely attack this in the same way. You could go in with a quad, you can go in with a column or half a row. So we're still gonna go in with all the shades because again, I need to see them in action on my eyes until I make a final decision as to whether I recommend this to you or not. But I think those are pretty much all the standout comparisons for me. If there is something you're dying to see swatch side by side, let me know, and when I get back home next week, I will then post those photos on the community board. How does that sound? And with that said, friends, let's get into this demo so we can try these looks and talk about this palette afterwards. And with all that said, now you can see some of the Love Glow action going on here. It does give a lot of texture, and I feel these are formulas that are best applied to damp skin or more of a creamy base, which is actually what NATASHA does. So she will rely on her creamy base first to be the foundation for these more crystally pearly shades, which is what I will do on the other side just to experiment. But I love that shade, the other one here on this side. I think is really pretty. First, with my Esom G34. And on the lids, I have my Hourglass Vanish Airbrush Vanish Concealer in Sienna. I wanna pop that more on the brow bone. So this pretty much serves us as like a low-key matte base shade. So with my reference number 16, let's just see how this goes as like a crease moment. So I love the color. I love that warm pink hue is giving, but there is a little bit of inconsistency here with the blending. I'm going in back with my Esom G34, perhaps a stiffer brush would just kind of help move the shadow better across the lid. I think that helped a little bit. So that is a Soul all by itself. Let's go in with Heart. I'm gonna pat that just on the outer V of the lid. So it definitely deepened up that first warm pink shade we applied. Sona G Soft Shader with Lifetime. Lifetime. Definitely think this is the best way to apply this shade. It's the pat and pull, right? So you don't want to initially swipe. You want to push the product into the lid, onto the lid, I should say. And that has a really nice duochrome effect. And I use the tip of the brush to kind of work that shade in more towards the crease. Next up, Giving. And I'm definitely going to use this as a topper moment, more on the inner part of the eye. So you're going to have that pink to bronze effect. And if you want to see how Lifetime does with a finger application, I actually prefer it. You're going to get more shadow on your lid. And I think overall it would just be a better placement of color in that way. Going back with Soul just to zhuzh more throughout the crease, make that a better gradient. Going back with the red matte more on the outer V to melt into Lifetime. All right, that is the first eye. Well, no, actually, let me do the bottom lash line now. What am I saying? Sonia G mini booster with Soul on the lower lash line. Heart on the outer lower third. Wow, I did not, oh no, well, I didn't bring a pencil brush. I am so stupid. But I do have my trusty Esam W21, which is featured in Michelle Wong's collab brush set. Link will be down below. I'm taking Giving, that topper pink shade, but on the inner lower third. And you see we got definitely some fallout from, I believe, that Lifetime shade. I'm gonna pat, 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 and brush away. Let's get into Heartbeat. I feel this is the shade that has been letting everyone down. Again, with my Esam G34. Let's get into these eyeballs. See what's up with Heartbeat. What's going on with you, huh? Just brushing along, seeing what we got. That's the problem, right? It latched on to perhaps a creamy part of my concealer, unfortunately. I mean, the color is nice, but we just have a little bit of a catch there. Same brush now with Intense. I'm gonna use that to blend out Heartbeat as like a transition moment, yeah? So I'll start in the innermost part of my brow, and I'll start to take it out a little bit more. Taking Heartbeat with Sonia G's Classic Crease. And I wanna use a smaller brush to dab on more on the outer part, and it definitely applies deeper than how it looks. So if you see my eye open like this, is not too bad, but the minute I close it, it's just a little inconsistent in application, unfortunately. And it's a shame, because it's a gorgeous, gorgeous color. Gorgeous color. I'm gonna go in with Passion. I wanna place that more on the center of the lid because I want to apply Pure Love more on the inner part of my lid. And that is this shade here, which is absolutely gorgeous, but now more here. So combining it with Passion, but we're gonna create that gradient. So you see when you move, you can see the blue reflect there. And I think Passion and Pure Love, so much love, go beautifully together. Let's finish this eye, yeah? We'll use Heartbeat again to smoke out the lower lash line. I'm gonna do this with my mini booster. Go in with Intense just to further smoke it out. Gonna use Pure Love as the inner lower third showstopper party shade. And use Transparent as the inner corner highlight moment. And a little bit of Transparent here too on this eye. I'm gonna dab some on this arch here. All right, friends, let's slap on some lashes and I'll be right back. Here's the finished look on both eyes. I have the new Bunsum Russian white lashes on. I have a close-up of how all the shades look on the lid. But you see that like a little bit of a patchy ring, it works. Because if you just were to see this look as is now and not the process, you will probably think the color is fine. On the lips, I have Natasha Denona's liner in L6, as well as her I Need a Nude shade in Michelle. I thought I would take this moment because I also have the glosses. This is the Gloss and Balm. Suggested shelf life, we're looking at 18 months, all also made in Italy. 4 milliliters, 0.13 fluid ounces, and this is in the shade Nude. Now, unfortunately, I say unfortunately because I'm not a fan, these have like that minty feel to them. Minty lip glosses are not my favorite because I don't want my lips to feel tingly. But if you like that, then these have them. But it looks beautiful on Michelle, absolutely. I'm gonna cut down the exposure a little bit so it's better. So without a doubt, I love these eye looks. For sure. Are the mattes inconsistent and not up to par with what she used to bring us in her previous palettes? Absolutely. So I think from the shades that we tried so far, you have to decide if that is a priority for you. If you feel that these mattes, because the price is the same, right? It's still the same high $65 price, but it's not because it's in a smaller palette, because we've experienced her mattes in Sunrise, and I think they perform beautifully. These are definitely drier. They don't have that same smooth texture like the ones found in Biba and in Lila, even in Sunset. So who knows? Maybe she changed labs, I don't know. But as far as the look, I mean, Lifetime, that bronzy shade, has beautiful duochrome reflectivity to it, and the fact that it just melts so well with Heart and Soul. These two colors together, I really love the gradient effect. Again, unfortunately, I know the mattes here are not the best, but look at this, the Heartbeat with the Passion and the Pure Love. Pure Love is outstanding. It's one of the best shades in here. I absolutely love it. I love that you get that blue reflectivity and you still have that Reflect Dazzle from Passion. Passion is definitely not a typical Natasha metallic. This has a lot more sparkle and texture to it, yeah? So I think it's a different shade altogether. It's more of like that pat formula where it's a metallic base, but you have the crystals strewn across through the formula. So let's move on. I definitely want to get into the purples because I think these were my favorite because I kind of dabbled into this last night. So let's take this off, get back in it, and I'll see you in a bit. Definitely going in with commitment. We gotta see what's up with the shade, okay? With that, I'm going in with my synthetic Wayne Goss brush, his 26S. I'm gonna get some commitment on there. I'm gonna start by punching it in first. Let's get it on the lid first, and then we'll begin to swirl and twirl. Can you get in frame, please? Thank you so much. Using my Esum G34 just to buff out the edges, because once we have the majority of the shade on the outer portion of the lid, we can start to blending. This is her cream to powder formula, which was heavily showcased in Metropolis, also found some in Biba, not so much in Sunrise or Lila. I'm gonna take Valentine, that light pink, baby pink shade, and use that to blend out, what's that called? Commitment. Not too bad. I think Valentine is a great shade to use if you wanted it as a blend out shade for the other pinks and reds in here. I like the fact that it's soft so that it's not going to overlap too heavily color-wise with the first shade you decide to apply here. I'm going in with more of that, I think this is considered like a burgundy brown as she described it, but it definitely reads more purple. But keep in mind, it's cloudy outside today on Forge, so it might appear a little more purple in nature. All right, what are we gonna put on the middle of the lid? Let's see. Definitely going with my Sony G Beauty Pro with some transparent and apply that as our stands out lid moment. And then patting down in and around under the crease line, getting the majority of the shade on the actual lid. More commitment on the outer V, and I'm pulling that through more into the crease as well. And I'm using circular motions to make that appear more diffused. And why not? Let's go in with that same shade under the lash line. Valentine with my G34 to zhuzh and spread, swirl and twirl. I want to try transparent with my finger, and I think you definitely get more of an impactful finish when doing so. I got some fallout with commitment, so I'm dusting that off. Now I really, Dream is really beautiful. I actually applied this last night and I was loving it. Going in with my 26S again with Dream. I'm actually gonna start with the inner part of my eye. I'm gonna dab that on, and I find this is a shade you definitely have to build and pat down to get the best color payoff for it to appear on lid as it does in pan. It's a really nice vibrant purple. Trust with my reference number 16. Gonna use that as the outer corner crease moment to definitely a dark shade to go in with initially, but you know what, we'll be fine. Using the brush to just pull it out slightly. I love this combination. So this for me, you know, it's helping the situation, okay? I'm gonna put in a little more Dream and combining that with Trust just to make a stronger gradient effect. Now we're going in with this killer shade. Oh my God. Blind with my Sonia G Builder Pro. Right on the center, right there. Blind is magnificent. Definitely one of the better performing metallics in here. The formula we're very much familiar with in regards to NATASHA DENONA metallic shadows. Very smooth, reflective, high shine. I mean, easy with a brush application or finger application. But that shade with the purples is just to die for. Taking a little bit of Trust on the outer edges and combining that with Blind. Taking Dream with my Wayne 26 synthetic again under the lash line. I'm gonna just zhuzh that further. I shouldn't have used that brush for the outer corner placement, but it's okay. It's okay. We're gonna be fine. Trust with my classic crease from Sonia G. Outer lower third. Ooh, do I want to, I could keep this exclusively cool as we are doing. Use Blind as the inner corner moment. But do I wanna apply something else. So we'll do this first. Blind with my Smith 253 as our inner corner highlight. But then, Pure Love, inner lower third. I love Pure Love. It has to be involved with everything now. That's it. I think is a nice way to incorporate the shade with the purple mattes in here. I actually want to use Valentine as my blend out shade for these purples. I know it might be a mistake, but I just want to kind of see. Oh, I like that a lot. It gave it a nice purple pink gradient. Classic crease with Trust again. I'm just building out this outer corner so it could appear richer and more in-depth. There we go, that's better. All right, friends, let's slap on these lashes and I'll be right back. And we're back, eyes up close, same lashes from the last look, New Bansum Russian White. And I actually applied some of the Diamond Glow powder from the cheek palette, the one here on the innermost part of my lid, and although a little tough on the cheekbones, it works wonderfully on the eyeballs. And on the lips, I have MAC Lip Pencil in Stone, and over top, I have Natasha's, where did I put it? Lip Gloss Balm in Mauve. So I thought we'd go a little cooler with the lips since we have a coolish situation on the eyes. I haven't tried the Duochrome. Whoa. Why don't we just pop that on for fun? Let's just see what it does. Oh, that's fun. It has like, ooh, wait, It has a green shift to it. I know it's really hard to see. You probably won't be able to see it in the swatch either, but it has like a duochrome limey shift. That's fun. I like this one. All right, let's start with the cheek palette. I think if you have Bloom, you don't necessarily need Love Glow, especially if you're good with that cheek shade, that cream blush. I mean, this has been said to be a favorite of 2019 nonstop. I've seen this on a lot of people's favorite lists. Many of you had messaged me to say that this cream blush is phenomenal in terms of texture and shade, and the accompanying powders, the highlighters are beautiful as well. Love Glow is a highlight shiny moment, okay? I'm gonna put it right there for you. It definitely has a different feel. It has a different role altogether. It's gonna give you more sparkle, more reflectivity overall. If you're not into that, then stay away. It's $55, and if you're not going to use that often, then it's definitely a waste of money for you. I do love the cream blush. I think this is a shade that I could wear well. I think it's easy to apply, and it gives a really nice, easy flush to the cheeks on a very easy no makeup day. Unfortunately, this is not going to show up as a cheek color on deeper skin tones. And with that said, you're better off using the cheek blush color found in Bloom, without a doubt. The lip glosses, since I just reviewed the Viseart Moisture Boost Lip Shine, I prefer these because there's no mint. Even though they smell like bubblegum, they don't have that minty feel to them, and I feel they actually lend more moisture to the lips than the Lip-oh-phorias do. But the Lip-oh-phorias are gorgeous. Like, I love this duochrome shade that I applied on top of the mauve. Here are all three shades together. I think this is a pretty nice trio. You have your beige moment, your cooler beige mauve moment, and then you have your showstopper duochrome that you could layer with any of these. You could layer these over your favorite lipstick, liquid lipstick, however, whatever you want to do according to what you have in your collection. They feel nice. They don't feel overly sticky. Again, I could do without the minty situation, but you know what? That's just me. Now for this palette, I made it work. I love the looks that I created. But I do understand and acknowledge the fact that there are some inconsistencies here, and you clearly saw that in the swatches. Now, although swatches don't mean anything, I feel that the swatches we saw on my arm translated the same way how they blended on the eyes. You saw that it caught on to pieces of my lid, that it didn't blend out as smoothly as we have experienced with other NATASHA DENONA mattes in the past. Could this be a lab change? Could this be a formula change? I don't think she ever intended to change her creamy powder matte formula ever, because she even called it her classic matte formula in her swatch video on her IG stories, which tells me that maybe this has something to do with the manufacturing, because I think her creamy mattes are here to stay. You know what I mean? Ever since it premiered in her Star palette, they pretty much stayed for every palette that they were included in. There are two of the cream to mattes here, Commitment and Dream. I actually like them. I liked how Commitment worked. I applied a little more off camera because I wanted that outer corner depth to show more. I like Dream. I think if you build this up, you could actually just apply this all over your lid, and the color of it is a really nice dusty purple that I think is just beautiful with any shade in here or by itself. Like I said, Pure Love, perhaps one of my most favorite shades with these blue reflex. I think gorgeous. Unfortunately, Heartbeat is a downer. Absolutely. I feel despite how beautiful it looks on my eyes when I make it work and I take time to blend it out, definitely it wouldn't have taken that much time if I were to use a matte from a different palette. The same thing with Soul. I think this is a beautiful shade, but it definitely needs a little zhuzhin, absolutely. In the end though, I really loved how everything looked together, especially when I applied Giving and Lifetime. Giving is like this beautiful topper shade that if you happen to have Pat's Star Wars Dark Galaxy palette, you could definitely get this moment from Cosmic. So if you're like, you know what, this was the only shade that I was remotely interested in from Love, that I'm fine with Cosmic, all right, then let's move right along. Do I have regrets buying this palette? I don't. I don't, because I love the shades, and although I am disappointed that a lot of these formulas, namely the creamy powder mattes, are not as good as the mattes that we've seen from her previous palettes, I'm gonna make it work. I'm gonna make it work because in the end, I love the looks that I created. Did I have to put a little elbow grease into it? Sure, but it wasn't something that made me so upset that I bought it. You know what I mean? Now for you, I say if you're expecting NATASHA DENONA quality, unfortunately, the mattes are not up to par. And if that is really something important to you, then yes, skip it. If you feel that $65 has to be presented in a way across the board, not only with the color curation, but also the formula, and you feel that the $65 will not be worth it for you given the inconsistencies, then definitely skip it. Now with comparisons, I've seen a lot of people compare the Love palette to Charlotte Tilbury's Pillow Talk palette, and I have heard that that formula in Pillow Talk I Say Hypnotize palette is a lot better than what people have experienced in the Love palette. So with that said, if you want like a Valentine pinky love theme moment, then definitely get the Pillow Talk instead. I prefer the Love palette because of the special finishes, because I'm a special finish type of a gal, and as smooth and beautifully buttery Charlotte's mattes are in her Eyes to Hypnotize palettes, her shimmers and metallics are fine, but I want a little more pizzazz, and I get that from NATASHA's Love palette, but that's just me. That's just me. But if you're deciding between the two, then get the Pillow Talk instead if you don't want to deal with some of the patchy mattes in Love. Some even people compare this to Jackie Aina's palette. I think you can have similar moments from Jackie's palette in with Love. Absolutely. I don't have it with me because I just didn't want to bring all the makeup with me to Maddie's house. If you haven't already noticed that we are in Maddie's house. She has some of those warm pink moments in there. I think it's called Curation, where it's that taupey metallic shade. So if you already have the Jackie Aina palette, yeah, you could create similar feel type of looks. I feel this is more predominantly pink purple overall, but hey, you know what, if we're saving money, then there you go. Compared to Lila is definitely smokier, more lavender, cool gray in nature. You definitely have more of her traditional metallic formula in here, as well as her creamy powder matte formula. She likes to go the classic creamy matte. This will always remain my all-time favorite. Now, I love that she has the special finishes in here, and because of that, I will most definitely will be combining both palettes and creating more looks. I actually think this is more user-friendly than Sunrise. I think you definitely need a vibe with the bright, more vibrant colors in here, with the inclusion of the warm yellows and the oranges, the purples and the reds. Even though this looks predominantly pink and purple, as I said, I feel you could get away with more of a low-key type of feel, like a peachy pink type of moment versus like yellow, orange, and purple, okay? Or not, you can let me know down below. And with the Coral palette, this is like, I feel, an edited version of what you can create with the Love palette, because you still have similar shades in here. This shade definitely is more of a topper moment versus the shade in Love, which is called Pure Love. Pure Love is an actual shade, whereas this is more topper. If you happen to have both, then you can use this on top of Pure Love to really maximize the reflectivity. So this is from the Coral palette. You could pat that on and see how it really bumps up the blue reflex in there. So if that's something you want to do and how you want to orchestrate your Natasha Denona palette collection, go ahead. So all in all, friends, if you're not sure about Love, just skip it. It is limited edition, but so was Metropolis, and that is still available. A lot of retailers have this palette. Don't rush into buying something you're not sure about. And if you love it, then don't feel pressure to not love it because of what I said. It's all about you and what you feel you can make worth and what's worth your time and money. I love the shades in here because although I am disappointed with the mattes, I feel I'm also paying for Natasha's curation and just color arrangement. There's something special in how she combines different textures and tones and shades with her palettes that I feel is a part of what you're paying for. And with that said, I will not be returning my palette. I don't regret having it. Sure, again, too bad the mattes are not creamy like her previous mattes. But like I said, wait till it comes in store in February. Try it out for yourself. Yes, you could return it if you buy it from Sephora. Maybe you have a friend that has it. You could borrow theirs and see how it goes. I don't know. So those are my thoughts. I hope I was clear. And basically the bottom line is I think we're disappointed that Natasha didn't come with her usual smooth, creamy matte powder formula, and that she did not include a lot of her traditional metallic shimmers from, like, let's say Lila and even Sunset. But I still love the shades in Love. I do. I love all 4 looks that I created. I'm going to make it work. I'm going to combine it with all my Natasha palettes. I feel like the Love palette is another tropic moment where people were not loving those hard pan metallic shades, but some people still love tropics. So who knows? Let me know down below what you're going to do. If you already have Love, what you think about it. If you were thinking about buying it, but now you're pumping the brakes on that and just kind of waiting it out to maybe experience and swatch the shades in person. And until then, friends, that is all right. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope this video helped. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and maybe consider subscribing to my channel. And until then, I'll see you on here again with another review, tutorial, get ready with me, Friday night chit chat, or favorites list. Take care, and I'll see you again soon.